This video is brought to you by Cracks Only. Check out the link in the video description below to get to their website and check out their latest products. Trust me, you do not want to miss them.
What's going on, guys? Good morning. Welcome back to United View. Hope everybody is doing very well. Welcome back to another edition of the Transfer View.
What's up?
Yes,
What's up?
We are back. KO edition of the Transfer View. Yes. Well, it's more of an okay in this format, but it works. It's still the same thing. It's it's done okay. That's what we've done. That's what we've done this morning. What's that? No, I don't have it hooked up this morning. I can maybe, when you're talking in a minute, I can maybe kind of fix that, possibly, depending on my wizardly ways. But nevertheless, this show, as always, is brought to you by Cracks Only. You would have seen the video just played there. Link is in the video description below. An LA-based brand. KG has repped the apparel on various occasions.
And I've got some more apparel coming.
Yes, he does, actually. Yes, he does. You can get your shirts, your hoodies, your hats, your socks. Several MLS players, I don't know if you've heard, KG, have actually been wearing that apparel in the United States.
I feel like to play for the Buccaneers.
Well, that's not MLS, though, is it?
Surely it is.
No, that's NFL.
Tom
Brady's not a football player. He's an American football player, but he's not a...
Oh man, sorry, I got it wrong. When he said American football, I always think of like...
No, just... So what, do you call it soccer? Is that what you're...
No. It's early. Remember, I've been out of it. I've been out of it. Like, I've been nursing a daughter. She's literally like back at school, and I feel great to just be... I know nothing as well, by the way. Literally, I've been... Yeah.
KG knows nothing. Some will say, what's the difference? But no, he knows no news. That's what we're trying to say. Come on. So we've got plenty to get into this morning when it comes to the world of Manchester United and transfer news. We're going to be talking a little bit about a striker target for the summer. That shock horror involves, KG, you guessed it, an Ajax player for Erik ten Hag.
Stress.
Yes.
But it's not true. I don't think it, anyway, we'll get to it.
Yes, we shall get to that. We're going to be talking as well about Jonathan David, possible links to him as well, another striker. Also, we're going to be talking a little bit about Jadon Sancho. That was confirmed yesterday. Sancho's had some comments. Some things have been written. So we're going to dissect that and all the other news and the happenings in the world of Manchester United as we roll ahead to the big game Sunday at Old Trafford against Tottenham Hotspur. Yesterday, KG had a spicy interaction. A spicy interaction.
Face off with expressions. That waste, man. We did. We went back and forth. That's dropping today, right?
Dropping today, 6 p.m. Yes. I've seen some clips. I've seen some things.
Yeah.
The questions I thought were good. They were probing questions as well, debatable questions certainly. Yes. And at several points, KG and X get off their seats. You can't see them. You can just see their torsos arguing at each other like this, with an occasional point, you know. So that's coming at 6 o'clock later on this evening. So if you haven't already, click the like button. Be sure to subscribe for that. Click the notification bell. You'll be notified when that drops later on. Let's talk about, though, Brian Brobbey, because, as I mentioned, Manchester United have been linked to the player. So when it comes to Brian Brobbey, Erik ten Hag reportedly is keeping tabs on Ajax striker Brian Brobbey as Manchester United begin to plan their summer transfer window. It continues by saying the Old Trafford boss has worked with the Dutch striker in the past as he's handed him his debut at Ajax in 2020. Ten Hag remains confident he will remain as United manager and is already starting to think about how he can bolster his attack in the summer. The Dutchman also wants to bring in a forward in January, but the club's financial position means that will only be a loan. That would rule out a move for Brobbey, 21, in this window, unless United can suddenly raise funds. But they will continue to scout the Holland international as a potential striker to compete with Rasmus Højlund. Anthony Martial is expected to leave this summer when his contract expires, so United will need another frontman. This comes from the Mirror. It comes from Chris McKenna. KG, you have said that you don't believe this. You don't believe this to be accurate. You don't believe this to be a story or anything like that. Do you, though? Do you worry a little bit about the links with the Ajax players?
Absolutely, because when you look at his, you quickly bring up the stats and stuff, and yes, 15 matches, 8 goals, but then these are still Rasmussen type numbers. 32 games, 13 goals, 11 games, 7 goals, 12 games, 3 goals. That's been his whole, like, that's in the Eredivisie. That's been his whole career. You know, it's not that's another you're trying to develop a striker. That's another development striker where you're really looking for someone that's really known as a known goal scorer, is a known goal threat, and someone that potentially Rasmus can learn from. These lot will both be learning. They're like 21 years of age. It doesn't fill me with any confidence thinking, you know what, he's gonna be trying to settle in and find his form and be wide and be waiting for chances and stuff. And it's not like, again, we're filled with loads of creation. So once again, you got to look at yes, I don't know how much of any goals he's going to create for himself. When you look at his assist, he doesn't really have many. Again, the most assists he's got is this season with 4 assists. Like, and this is just me now, just purely looking on stats. But I know obviously he's one of those players that it's a nightmare to go up against. But then you're similar to Rasmus in the sense of you want to work off the hold-up play and bring people into the game. But that's not the signing that like is going to change Man United's fortunes. But then I do think it's one of those names. I think now we're in that stage where the media, we have to be careful with the games that the media do want to play with us, because let's have it right. Like, they know that, one, Ten Hag's in a loose position when it does come to signings, and two, this is a name that was linked before, so it's not really a lie. This is someone that he's wanted in the past. Doesn't mean he wants him now. Now, no one could argue and refute and say, well, you never wanted him. You know what I'm saying? No one can say, well, how accurate and to what timeline is this? Because on the new timeline, I don't know if Ineos and just everyone that's involved on the footballing matters is gonna agree to this. Because being honest, the signings from some of the Ajax signings have not worked. And when we have gone to Ajax, some people, we've been accused of getting the wrong one. You know, Gravenberch was there. We didn't go for Gravenberch. Sancho worked out really nicely. Anthony, though, should have got Kudus. So there's like, now you're going to tell me we're going to go back and go for Brobbey. Come on, guys. Come on.
I don't think there's much in it, to be honest with you. I think it's just one of those ones where United are looking for a striker, and it's weird, isn't it? It's like any kind of joke in that it's funny at first until it stops becoming funny. Like, so when you get linked to like an Ajax player again, you go, come on. Like, and I agree with you in the sense of, I don't doubt that at some point Erik ten Hag hasn't brought his name up to, like the United recruitment team and all that, and gone, hey, I work with him at Ajax, so, and he's young. Maybe we bring him in. He knows what I want. I work with him. Wow. But that ship's really sailed, hasn't it? That ship sailed of bringing in the Ajax players and all that kind of stuff. And like you pointed out, you can look at Martinez, worked out, but then you can look at Anthony, hasn't worked out. And you look at Onana, where it's like, well, we have to still wait and see. But a lot of people already question that side. I know it doesn't come directly from Ajax, but he's a former player. So again, I don't think there's really much to this story. I think, the sort of the biggest part of it in that whole story from the Mirror there is Ten Hag going, no, I'm going to be in the summer. It's going to be fine. No worries. And like you said, not only are you going to be here in the summer, but also you're going to have that same influence over transfers that you currently do, which is something that I've brought up in the past, which is, I think he and Ineos, I think they're heading for a collision course. I really do. Because, the reason I say that is because the way his contract is structured is that he does have that veto on transfers, and he has an element of control over transfers. Now, you've got Ineos who are going, right, we're scrapping that recruitment department and we're bringing in a new one. We're getting a sporting director. We're getting a head of recruitment. Probably a load of the scouts are going to probably go, well, like we're literally ripping it apart and building it back up. And I guess we're working on this assumption that whoever those people are, the sporting director and the head of the recruitment, that they're going to be completely aligned with Erik ten Hag in sort of their visions for certain players and certain elements of the way the recruitment wants to go. Like, what happens when Ineos or whoever those people are go, we really want this guy, we're going to go for this guy, and ten Hag goes, no, that doesn't work for me.
No, but then I don't think he'll be like that, because he's worked in the he's not going to turn down good players.
But what if they tell him to go a different direction?
Yeah, but I think it's the type of player that they want to bring in. Like, Ten Hag's not an idiot, innit? Like, there's a little part of him that's I think Ten Hag is saying to himself, look, I've worked with Overmars and Van der Sar before, right? And they again, the players that are coming through were really good ones. Now, Ten Hag is not like he's been blessed with, like, he's been at a big club before where he's got had loads of money to spend and this, that, and the other. So he'll know, look, he's been in the harder situations. I'm gonna take what you've been given. And the only thing is, not like they're gonna now we're trying to get the best in class, so they're not trying to give him terrible players. I think if they start, if now they bring in this mad Galacticos, if we go on that kind of Ed Woodward style before, you know, when he's like, I'm going to bring in Falcao, Di Maria, I'm going to bring in all these players, he'll probably say, well, that's not really what I want to do, because one, I'm not really into working with these older type players, this, that, and the other. But with the names that I could see them bringing through, I can't see him really having a problem with it, personally. But again, and then if he does, there will be a veto. But I can't imagine him, if he's having to veto every two players they say, then them lot are not doing a good job. I actually think they will do a good job.
What if it's the other way around, though? I mean, maybe we're thinking of this from just one direction. What if it's Ten Hag goes, for instance, like a Brian Brobbey, I want to get Brian Brobbey, and Ineos go, no, we're not getting Brian Brobbey. What happens then?
Good. And they should explain it as well. And they say, look, Eric, like, let's be fair. Like, your last couple signings here, they haven't been the one. Someone needs to have that real honest conversation and say, look, Eric, we've got it wrong on like, and there's two sore thumbs and you don't even play him. There's one in Anthony, you don't play anymore. You drop Anthony for Garnacho. Garnacho's a youth product that not really, yes, you brought him through, but like, come on, man. This is, you spent a lot of money on this one. You got to hear me out. I would feel sheepish. If I know I spent, I don't know, 80 million and it hasn't worked out, I'm not going to be raising my voice saying, yo, hear me out, give me this again. That'll be foolishness. So I think Ten Hag kind of understands, especially if he says, you know what, Onana hasn't worked, because these are two of your names, like, signings. These things have to work out. And Erik ten Hag, because football, obviously it's a results business, it's one of those things, it's cutthroat. At some point, if Onana doesn't get it right, he has to give up on that project. Now, anytime he gives up on a project, it's going to cost. So I don't think he's got, again, the credit in the bank to fight his corner. Now, when he starts winning again and things turn around, absolutely. When you get into the transfer market, you need to have a conversation. You can have that conversation. But as of now, I don't think he hasn't really got a leg to stand on this one. Personally, that's how I see it. I feel like Ten Hag's reasonable enough to realize that he's like, you know what, like, right now, maybe not, but it's not going to be forever. I will speak again, you know, and hopefully, I just really hope that director of football does come in and they can mesh well together, because that's Ineos' job as well. You have to find someone that can work in this scheme, because every time you get a manager, that's always going to be a thing to deal with. You know,
it's still a question mark, isn't it? It's still a question mark. I mean, look, Mo says here in the chat, what are you talking about, Owen? Erik ten Hag is used to working in a structure, and this is where I think things get a bit misinterpreted, because basically, of course, Erik ten Hag's worked in a structure. Lots of managers have worked well in a structure, but the point is that it's a structure suited to that guy, that manager. For instance, the one at Ajax, that was suited to him. Van der Sar, Overmars, Ten Hag, all aligned, all on the same page. Even if you
Yeah.
want to look at like a Graham Potter at Brighton, why did he do well there? Because everyone was on the same page, all aligned. That they've worked well together. Look at City with they've got the director of football in that was at Barca, Tiki, whatever his name is. With Pep, they've worked together well. They're all on the same page. So that this period of time, I think between now and the start of the summer is going to be a really interesting time, because we're going to see, are these new people that are going to eventually be brought in, are they all on the same page with Ten Hag, or are they on completely different pages? Because if they're on different pages, then it's not going to end well, basically. And that's why I say I think they're heading for a collision course. Not necessarily saying it's going to be collision, explosion, they're going to go in the different ways, but at some point, I think everyone's going to have to reach a level of compromise. If they're going to work together, they're going to have to reach a level of because, as we say with Ten Hag, he can't. Not that he can't have the influence that he's currently had, because every manager should have influence over transfers, but to the extent, like you said, whether it's like, I want Brobbey, I want Anthony, I want Onana, there's got to be, maybe as John Murtagh probably maybe hasn't sort of vetoed many signings when it comes to Ten Hag. I know you could argue that the Glazers have with like Harry Kane and stuff like that, whether or not we were going to get him. But it's just going to be a really interesting point when all of these people are in certain places. Are they going to be on the same page or not? Wayne here says, why does Owen think they won't be on the same page? Because the only reason I say that is just because historically, when new people come in and in charge, historically they're not.
Because you're fear mongering. That's what you do. That's what these channels do. They created some fear.
It was because the thing is, guys, you know, the currency that you bring in with your super chats is negativity. That's what really sells, and that's what we're really looking for. No, see, these are questions, but this is the funny thing, isn't it? Like, for instance, when the Ineos deal was first put out there, and you ask these questions, you're being negative, but it's like, you've got to ask these questions, because you can't just assume everything's going to be plain sailing, straight sailing. A couple of super chats here. Amanor has been a member for 12 months. Says, Owen, Tobes needs to be rushed for disrespecting Garnacho. KG, for the love of God, cook X before Sunday. If we win, oh my God, DR Sports will be good.
Nah, well, I'm telling you right now, if we get what we need, I'm not gonna be nice. It's not nice. Good. Literally, I'm not gonna be nice. I'm gonna be.
I don't know what's going on, but it's not nice. Ray with the super chat says it's media BS, referring to the Brian Brobbey story. M Sati says Eric Ten Hag experiment should stop. He needs guidance.
Wait. Hold on. Let's stop for a second. Show KG in serious denial when it comes to Eric Ten Hag and his horrible recruitment. When I spoke today, did I praise the signings? Because I'm just making sure. I haven't been looking at the comments. I just been like just in the show with it. I just looked here a second. Did I praise the signings today, Owen? Because I feel like that's what they're saying.
I'm going to be honest, KG. Sometimes when you talk, I kind of tune you out a little bit, so I don't know.
Okay, cool. I think that's better to say. Because I know that when I go back on it, I'm like,
I recall you saying that you said like Lissandro's a good signing, Anthony's not a good signing, and you're not a fan of Onana.
Yeah. So I've only rated Lissandro like. Anyway, cool. Fine. You know what I think happens in these shows? People come with their already formed thought and feeling, and no matter anything you say, they're not having it.
I develop a strong, honestly, I've had this conversation several times. I develop a strong sense of paranoia because I'll say something and then I'll see comments saying like the opposite of what I've said. And I go, I can't speak. I can't speak clearly. I'm clearly not saying what I want to get out of my brain. I must be saying the opposite because that's not what I've said. I had a couple of weeks ago in one show, I was called an Eric Ten Hag outer. And then like 2 minutes later, why are you always trying to defend Eric Ten Hag? Couldn't believe it. Lil Yo-Yo says, might need Boy Kev in this jam.
I'm rubbish.
Top shotter up front, apparently.
I'm rubbish. Yeah.
What is this super chat? What is this super chat? By the way, morning, mate. Morning. My mate said she went to school with KG in the early 2000s. She said his name is Kevin. Second name is another first name, but don't want to drop it. Apparently, on one of his feet, he only has 4 toes, but one of them is as large as 2. Is that true?
All right, so I've got 2 first names. Nah, one of his feet only 4. I haven't got 4 toes. What does that even mean? But one of them is not just. It's not. But then wait, hold on. That's really funny though. That I have got 2 first names though. So with the truth, it does look like the truth makes it seem
They've mixed it in.
So it looks like it's got some to it. How
They've
could man
mixed
have
it in.
4? Anyway, where's Gary?
These things just don't happen when KG's not on the show, I swear.
Yeah, I know.
Anyway, if you haven't already,
Patience, bro. I can't even walk away from it.
And the worst thing is, like you said, because you've gone, that's not true. Now it's become a thing. KG's got 4 toes.
I could G.
Yeah.
Oh man, I could G. And I'm not getting my feet out, bro. You think this is OnlyFans? Get the hell out of here, man. What is this? What is this, man? All right, cool.
Okay, well, let's move on.
Imagine this is when Flex tunes in and thinks, let's go onto my channel and see what's going on over there.
Imagine he's at Sky and he's going, the channel's doing big things. Take a look. Show some big executive. KG's got his feet out going, see, I've got 5 toes. He just switches it off, goes, I don't know what's going on there, but it's not nice. Let's move on to the next one. There have been rumours that United could be interested in Lille striker Jonathan David. However, those rumours have been shot down rather quickly by David Ornstein from The Athletic. He was asked in a Q&A, is there any truth to the rumours that Manchester United and Aston Villa could be targeting Jonathan David? And he said, quote, it's not one I've heard credibly. That's not to say he isn't a player that clubs like these are considering. But in the case of United, the money it would require to make such a signing is not available this month unless they can generate the required funds through departures, which I guess moves on to the next thing, KG, when it comes to, do you think we're going to make any signings in January? Do you think we're going to get anyone? Or do you think it's going to be a quiet month?
Absolutely not. We're not getting anyone. We're broke.
Not even a loan?
We hope to see what's going to happen, There had to be, like that Fenerbahce thing with Martial. It seemed like it was weird. It was the weirdest thing. It felt like something like Man United were trying to push Martial out or something like that. And there was some talk there. Again, I don't know if Martial's injured, sick, whatever, but then it seemed like they might be able to get him off the books because it just felt strange. Wait, hold on. He's going to be sent on loan and then his contract's ending.
Honestly.
What's going on here? Like, it was the weirdest thing, but then like Man United banking on something to happen. Rafa Varane, he's now part of the squad. It could have been a situation, frustrate Varane, so he's out. Like, what's wrong?
No, we've got the same way that Ineos 25%, our 25% owner of United viewers arrived, which is Nubian Pharaoh once again. With a £100 super chat.
Oh, golly, sorry.
Oh my God.
Damn.
Yes. Once again, Nubian Pharaoh. We'll leave it up on the screen. Just says, Eric Ten Hag is in the court of public opinion. He has to prove himself on the pitch before he can claim funds to buy players. I tell you what, as well, KG, not only is it, it's a red super chat and they will stand out. It's a good super chat as well. Very wise words.
Shout out to the Nubian Pharaoh as well.
Pharaoh.
Yeah, that's a good name.
And because of the name as well, I always just think like he is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think that picture there, like the Pharaoh and all that, like I think that's him. That's him.
Yeah.
Give me a super chat.
Bastard.
Well, KG, this is the thing. When someone just drops a £100 super chat, I don't think it's wise. I don't think it's wise to immediately, drop the word bastard immediately afterwards.
Nah, because you gotta put the things together. You know, it's judges. He's done it again.
See, this is why I wish I had my lead judge's page up. I
You should have it up, man. Because
don't have it. One of those shows.
I'm disappointed. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, you got some of the best sounds in the business.
Let me see if I can do it now. Let me see if I can do it now. Fill space for me. What were you saying?
Easy. I'm gonna fill this space and chat absolute garbage. I'm gonna waffle. Literally, this is time. This is a waffling moment. I'm gonna read basically most of the chats that are in the free seats right now. George said, "Pause. We will." Now the pause is done. Ten Hag trying to sign another Eredivisie player. He doesn't learn, does he? Someone said standard protocol format says great combo. Flakamura says done okay. Mortanda Uni says KD's a legend for this. Keegan says chance to get the likes up. Sanjay says good morning.
Done okay.
Look at that.
Now, I thought honestly, when you said fill time, I thought, KG, you were going to say something of substance, and not just. I should have known better. KG, you won't believe it. You won't believe it. You will not believe this. Okay.
Fucking reckless! That's fucking reckless! Only gonna give me up.
Because he has done it again. Nubian Pharaoh has done it again. Another £100 super chat.
See what I'm saying?
Saying you guys got jokes. Great show. I mean, I can't.
He's done it again. You must have that one now. He's done it again.
I don't. But that's now £200. Okay. Yeah.
Do you fucking understand me on that?
Yeah, I do understand you on that.
I can't.
He's financing Brobbey, fam. This guy, he should ask him if he wants 25% of the club. No, but yeah, man. Big up to the Pharaoh, man. I don't remember what we're saying because we totally got segued, but that's it. We're broke. That's what we're talking about. We're talking about our finances, actually. Funny enough. And then that's really like Man United are not signing anyone. It was that last post or the last tweet basically saying Man United's financial situation. And there we are. We tried to force out Varane as well. Remember, there was the time when it looked like, can we get Varane to Saudi? Could we get any and we're trying to raise fees or trying to have like more salary to bring in. I don't know who, but it's not worked. No one's leaving. The only person that has left is Jadon Sancho. We're still pretty much paying quite a significant part of his wage. So, yeah, I don't see nothing happening.
Well, Donny's left as well. Donny's left. We got a loan fee and we got wages off for that. When it comes to Sancho, we do have some news on the Sancho finances involved in that as well, which I do want to talk about. Looks like Facundo could be out the door, possibly Hannibal as well, which could even turn into a permanent deal too, as well, for Hannibal to go to Sevilla. So I think, look, we're in the territory of, Flex and myself said it the other day, round the back of the sofa, looking for the pounds and pennies and going, what have we got? And then towards the end of the month, we'll go, look, what have we got? What have we got available? And because of that, can we get a loan? Most likely it'll be for a striker. Can we get sort of an experienced striker in to help out Højlund? And Martial's not going to be playing anyway. So can we do something about that? That's really United's window in a nutshell. And the thing is, historically, those sort of January loan striker signings, feeling a bit veggy. Feeling a bit Agalowy.
It's feeling a bit weggy and Agalowy. It's a disgrace though. It does lie, and it just again, hate to be here again, but the Glazers have ran this club with total contempt, man. And it's just like the fact that we're in this situation, even and Woodward as well, just everyone just above that's been making decisions on this club. We're now like it's a situation of this has been coming for a long time, and we're finally just in it. You know, the fact Man United do not have money to be like competitive in January is disgusting. It's disgusting, and it just is the long term vision. The fact of, you know, when people do say, "Look, we shelled out all this money on Anthony. Why did you do it?" You know, those are the ones where like it's hard to really understand. Again, I'm trying my best not to be negative about the Mason Mount thing, but in the beginning, like we could have bought Mason Mount now, you know, like because he's missed so much football. It was one of our first signings, and it's like we could have used that money somewhere else, especially if Mason Mount comes back in and he's not playing in like next to Kobe or he's not in the Bruno position, then you just done a signing that you kind of didn't really need. If like it wasn't must need for the squad to be better right now, like that first 11, it was a substitution sign. It doesn't make any sense.
Well, who
We're
did we
still
sign
low.
in the summer? Because this was something I was thinking the other day during the full view. We signed,
Yeah.
was it Onana,
Needed.
Mount,
We need to go.
Hoyland? Who else did we get in the summer?
Nana,
Amrabat.
Amrabat. Apparently, he's not staying anymore. We're not going to sign him.
Yeah. So, I mean, if I'm missing anyone, let me know in the chat. It's early. But, I mean, as a transfer window goes, that might be like right up there in terms of players that, I mean, have any of them worked out so far?
Onana, no. Mount, no. Amrabizi, currently no. Hoyland will work out.
If anything, I tell you what, do you know what? Do you know what? Man, Johnny Evans has arguably been the best signing in the summer.
He was free as well.
Do you know how mad that is, KG? I mean, does anyone disagree with that in the chat? In terms of Johnny Evans has been the signing that you could say, I think unanimously everyone's gone, that's worked out.
But don't get twisted. Hoyland, let's not mess around with Hoyland's name. I know he's in the what you call it. Hoyland is gonna be the guy. He will be.
You got big faith.
I've got big faith in him. Do you know what I mean? The stocks, you know, like the stocks for me, like while people are like low on Hoyland at the moment, he's gonna get it right. Like he's a nice young player, got the right attitude. I think he's gonna get it right. Like he deserves time. We should still believe and back that kid. Now, Onana's issue. Mason Mount could come in and be a revelation. We don't know. Like a lot of us are already negative. Like before, we had our like it's that pre-negativity. Even when we said, "Wait, why are we buying him?" Remember the shows that we was doing was like, "He's really gonna have to prove it to me here because I know nothing about him." You know that a lot of that's how it's been. So unfortunately for Mount, he's in a situation, and then they gave him a 7 shirt as well. Like
I remember like initial reaction to things when it came. I remember it might have been big up to them, the Muppeteers. I think they said like Mason Mount's getting 7, and everyone went, bullshit, he's not getting 7. And then when it came out, they got 7. I think University of them went, jeez, like that's. And remember the debate of it's just a number. Why does it matter? And those people at the time that were given like it's just a number, it doesn't matter. At Man United, it matters. Like it's always mattered, the number 7 shirt. And I know people point to, well, in recent years, this player had it and that player had it and it didn't work out. You cannot ignore the legacy of the number 7 shirt. You just cannot ignore that. And
Adam says, what you call it? When he got the 7, I did the Gary Neville. Can you imagine he's at home?
What? Well, they went, Mason Mount. They went, wow, maybe, what numbers is he getting? 7.
I wish I was there. What noise did you make, when you heard that, what you call it, the breaking news when it said Sir Alex is stepping down and David Moyes is going to be his successor?
What did I, when I heard that, I went, well.
Fucking reckless! That's fucking reckless! Fuck up!
And they went, well, in terms of some stats, it might be good. The stats might.
I don't give a fuck about his stats.
And about 6 months into that season,
I've heard enough.
But you know what? He came to his first game, yeah, with Man United, and he said,
We're gonna do this.
"Did fuck all." He did.
It was
nothing.
like, remember that like story that came out during David Moyes' tenure of like him apparently saying to Nemanja Vidic and Rio Ferdinand, like one of the best centre back partnerships in Premier League history. Here's how Phil Jagielka does it, and they went, "Excuse me."
Jack Youngs. I heard he took them to the park to do crossing and stuff. He was a mess. Nah, he was.
Remember that picture I showed you the other day of him running on the touchline? You know, the
My favorite picture is the one with the Man United at the desk. That picture kills me every single time. And it was the group chat Avi, and we were going for it, bro. I don't even know if like the group chat things was fresh on WhatsApp there, because that's how many years back. That was like the beginning
decade ago. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the beginning of the group chat, and bloody hell, they were loading it with just old memes. I see my manager and
It was that one, and it was the Ed Woodward pointing in the stands one. Remember that? Phil Jones goes to Woodward. I want a new contract. Get it?
There's been so many times, yeah. We've been, do you know what, man? Man United, this story has just been rubbish, innit? It's been horrible. When you really look at it, like the signings, there was a time someone put up a picture of like Jadon, Sancho, and like two other good players that was coming off the bench. Ronaldo was there. Was Jadon in the same Ronaldo? He was.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jadon, Sancho, Ronaldo. That they were. You saw the three of them. You thought, bloody hell, this looks good, bro. Like it's bad, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, think about it. Louis van Gaal's first season, we had like a front four of like Rooney, Van Persie, Falcao, and Di Maria, and somehow that didn't work out because at the back we had like Paddy McNair, Tyler Blackett.
How's it gone? Wait, but really, like, how is it turned into this? Don't you ever have moments and think, like, just little moments to yourself and think, bloody hell, this is really bad. You know, like this is horrendous what we got. Like, look at us. Like we're rubbish. But on the world stage, now players don't want to come here. Sancho, it's breaking my heart seeing Sancho.
Well, let's get into the Sancho stuff. This is perfect segue. Well done, KG. I like this because Sancho's loan deal to Borussia Dortmund yesterday was confirmed, and we got a lot of stuff coming out of it. First of all, the terms of the deal. This is quite an interesting one from Dama Chef, who has said that it's a done deal. Terms of the deal could see Dortmund cover more than 100% of Sancho's wages, depending on performance. Dortmund pay 3.5 million euros and a possible 4 million euros in add-ons for the 6 months. That's if like Dortmund do really well, qualify for the Champions League, etc., etc. Now, Sancho had some quotes when it came to his return to Dortmund. He said, "When I came into the dressing room today, it felt like coming home, and I know the club inside and out. I've always been very close with the fans here, and I've never lost contact with those in charge. I can't wait to see my teammates again, go out on the pitch, play football with a smile on my face, prepare goals, score goals, and help qualify for the Champions League." Now, some interesting stuff then came out from The Athletic regarding just a few more details about Sancho's exile, shall we say, at United, as well as the thought process about bringing him in the first place back in 2021. The first is about this individual training regime he's been on, because obviously he's been exiled away from the first team squad, but he's still been doing training with the sort of academy players, what have you. And The Athletic says Jadon Sancho's attendance at Manchester United individual training sessions during his exile has been described as, quote, way below 100% by some at United who asked to be kept anonymous to protect relationships. but his absences have been put down to illness, with the club's doctors kept informed on each occasion. Sancho's camp denies he has missed more than a couple of sessions and says that in each case it was because he was unwell. So you've got some at United going, he's not even showing up to these individual training sessions, and you've got others going, no, that's just because he was ill and he's only missed a couple. In addition to that, there's been speculation at Carrington that Jadon Sancho's Manchester United salary of more than £200,000 a week has been reduced due to him not being part of the first team picture and the subsequent loss of image rights. His contract allegedly has a clause which links that portion of his salary to being a member of the senior squad, although this is also disputed by the Sancho camp. So they're also saying that, I guess, part of the reason for his exile away from the first team squad was because actually that would reduce his salary if he's not going to play. In addition to this, this is quite an interesting thing as well. So all of these things off the pitch regarding timekeeping, being late, professionalism, what have you, whether you believe them or not. But The Athletic have said that Manchester United were aware of the off-the-pitch concerns with Jadon Sancho prior to joining United, but believed they were just a product of Sancho's desire to ultimately leave the German team and felt they could create an environment in which he would want to perform at his very best. As a result, their interest never abated. Basically saying, we just thought he was sort of that stuff in Germany was just because he wanted to leave. And turns out that maybe wasn't the case. But what do you think about it all, KG? When you saw the comments, when you saw him yesterday saying, I'm at home, kissing the badge, I just want to play with a smile on my face.
In the badge kiss. I haven't seen the badge kiss. Is it?
There's a badge kiss.
I haven't even seen the badge kiss. Jadon, man. Oh, he kissed the badge for real.
Yeah.
What is it like? What we saying? Is it like what level of kiss the badge, man?
It's not even for a photo shoot. I believe it's just him sort of walking past, like the social media person. And I think I'll send it you. We'll get a live reaction.
Context is key. Like context is key in this one. I need to see. Don't. Jadon, man. I'm sad, man. I ain't gonna lie, man. I hope it's not really hoping it's not as bad as you like. But a badge kiss is crazy on a loan. On a loan deal. He was necking it, tongues and all. Have you said it?
I've sent it to you, yes.
All right, cool. Just waiting for it to but then here it is. Like how I'm feeling about it. Weird, my phone is not updating. How I'm feeling about it. So it's just where did you send it? What's that?
I said I DM'd you. Oh, do you want me to send a link to you on WhatsApp?
Oh, there we go.
I DM'd
Go on what?
I DM'd you on Twitter.
Social media, to be honest.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Have you got it, or shall I send it?
No, I've got it.
All right,
cool. He hates us, man, innit? He hates us. He hates us. He didn't even score, bro. He don't even. Jadon hates us, man. Jadon. It's so painful, like I feel hard done by. I feel like it's the one that got away. Like, there's so many. Yeah, like I just feel like this shouldn't have ended like this. When you look at a play and think, well, how have we got here? Like, I don't know. You got to think back to like.
Do you not think there's an element of accountability on himself though, as to how we got here?
Absolutely. Not 100%. But I just feel like, what the hell? Like, imagine a presser, yeah? This is it. Me and you, we're good mates, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
I said something about you, yeah? Just on one of these random thingy shows.
Yeah.
Owen, man, just pissing me off at the moment. Like, yeah, that's why I didn't call him up. Yeah?
Yeah.
And then after you're like, next time I see you, you're on, what do you call it, Stretford Paddock. Like, you just left. Where you went quiet. You went quiet for long. And I was like, mate,
We're not the thing is, this isn't the best example because usually when we do say stuff about each other, it results in some form of retaliation.
Yeah. No, I'm saying this in, and Stretford, just in case, thinking there's literally those are my guys. That's probably what I said to them. I'm sick of saying Alice talks. Like, we need to leave her alone. She's cool. Yeah. But you have to understand how mad it is that, wait, what? And now you're kissing a new badge. Like, how? Like, what happened to us in the sense of we were once cool, you went on a you weren't feeling good. We sent you on a sabbatical to Holland. It looked like we had a good relationship. And then this has happened. We were expecting you to come back and cook. Like, I'm shocked. I'm literally, when you just sit in and think, raw.
But everything circles back to recruitment. This is what I mean. I've said this a lot recently. Everything circles back to recruitment because if United had properly done their due diligence, and it appears that they did on Sancho and some of these issues off the pitch and his personality type and how to get the best out of him in terms of he has to kind of be nurtured. He's that type of player that just needs the arm around him and kind of needs pushing in certain directions. If they'd have, and they knew that, and they didn't, make that best environment for him, then that's on the club. And also, when it comes to Sancho and his own development, it's upon him as a player to get into that new environment and going, I tell you what, it's not like it was here at Dortmund. The manager doesn't really treat me the way that the people at Dortmund did in terms of kind of sort of babysitting me and all that. I've got to grow up here. I've got to make this work. So everyone's failed. Jadon Sancho is just the latest name in terms of a big name coming to Manchester United that hasn't worked out in terms of he hasn't been able to adapt. He hasn't been able to handle the pressure, I don't think, as well. In that same Athletic article, it said after his first game, which was against Newcastle, the 4-1 game or whatever it was, he apparently said to people in the dressing room afterwards, well, that was fast. That was faster than I thought. And they said in the article, they said, get used to it. So I think there was some struggle adapting for him as well. And it hasn't worked out. I don't see any way back for him. I know people are like, well, it's only a loan. There's no buy option. He could come back. He could outlast Ten Hag. Even if we got a new manager, to be honest with you, I still wouldn't want him back. I think the line's been drawn at this point because make no mistake.
Defensible on the loan, the badge kiss is indefensible.
It's not even that. I don't really care that much about the badge kiss or anything like that. I care about that. I think the biggest thing is going onto social media and saying basically your manager's a liar as to why he didn't pick you.
No, that's the original. No, but like new things on top, and you gotta be like, come on, man, you don't give a shit. Like it's like how I felt about Henderson. Like I can't wait to play Man United, mate. Yes, ain't you still a Man United player? You got the cross legs on Talk Sports saying that I didn't want the manager to see me because I was great. Bro, piss off. As soon as he said that, I was mad. I was watching it saying, is that what you're saying, Henderson? And you know what it is, I wanted to give Sancho a lot more leeway. One, just being, he's a brother from London, from South. Like, young kids that I would have worked with will be able to relate to him. That's like a role model for a lot of young kids that I used to work with. So I was excited, and I've never really I haven't seen it at Man United. I'm excited by this, and it hasn't formulated into what we wanted it to be. There's literally there's just a feeling of, yes, let's go. You finally made it. Like, we can all champion this. It's like, even like, I'm not Arsenal supporter, but the Nigerian in me, I love Bukayo Saka. I love seeing him do well. It's like, go on. You know what I mean? There's a little proud feeling of, yeah, man, this is good for just young kids in general to go and see. So now I want to see these kids go on and be successful. He's come to Man United and it's turned out to be a disaster. Why? Why is this?
But I think the reasons are fairly obvious as to why, really. Like I said, I think it's on Jadon Sancho because he hasn't worked out and he hasn't, even if you're not used to doing things a certain way or there was a certain level of application or professionalism that was accepted at one club, it's like when you go to a new job, you go into that new job, in your old job, you can chirp it. I mean, you're meant to be there at 9, you can get in there for 10, you can do the rest of your hours and all that kind of stuff. But, this new job, it's 8:30. You got to get in. That's it. That's what you got to do. And again, it's also on the club in terms of their recruitment because they didn't recruit. You laughing at KG.
what you call it, Declan. I wanted to give Henderson more leeway because he's a white guy from Whitehaven. But he just doesn't. I get it. I know how it sounds, but you have to just think of the whole journey. So anyway, big up to you, though. It just made me. Yeah, it's really funny as a comment, but yeah, you just probably won't get it. But really funny. No, it's a really funny comment. Really funny. It made me laugh.
But
Because on the normal optics, it's like, bro, what? You just want to give him a chance because he's black? Right? Come on, I can't explain it, but big up to you, though.
We're gonna do this.
yes, to go back to it. As you asked the question, why hasn't it worked out? It hasn't worked out because it's on Sancho. It's on the club. The club aren't innocent as well. And this is the thing too. When people, when you talk about this, because I know inevitably what the reaction is with the comments, they'll be like, but Ten Hag does lie. And Ten Hag does have favourites. I'm not even necessarily disputing that. Of course he does. Of course Ten Hag lies. Of course he's got favourites. We've criticised him for that. We've criticised him for the preference of playing Anthony. And in those situations, even at the time we were going, yeah, get Sancho in the side, play Sancho, all that kind of stuff. But it still doesn't necessarily give Sancho a pass to you.
No,
once you draw that line on social media, you can't do that. You just can't. You know.
Yeah, Sancho has made a mockery of Man United. He has. Like, there's no way to. I'm disappointed, but I can't deny the truth. He's made a mockery of this club. He's got upset. He's instead of doing something about it and getting his head down, he's taken the easy route out.
Here's one, KG, actually.
Yeah.
So if they went, hypothetical world, Eric Ten Hag goes in the summer and they go, we've got a new manager. He's called KG the comedian. Okay.
Yes.
And it's in your hands. Would you bring Jadon Sancho back into the fold? Or would you go, no, the line was crossed a long ago. We can't come back from that.
Again, we can't be black and white about these things. That'll be the honest truth.
Is that a reference to the comment from earlier about the Whitehaven thing?
And Owen, you're the man. It's nothing to do with that. No, you can't be black and white about these things because you have to look at it holistically. You know, some bullshit's going to be said when you say, let's have a holistic approach to when we look at this.
So what's your answer, KG? So what's your answer? Would we bring Sancho back into the fold?
Wait. Listen to this. Now, remember the financial situation that we're in at this club. There's no money. What am I going to do with this asset, this depreciating asset who should be worth more? That's the question that you really have to ask yourself. Now, like if I'm a new manager, that beef that the other manager has, that's not really my beef. I don't have that that's not my problem. That was you and the other guy's problem. Now, are the fans going to boo him at the beginning? Probably. If there's quality, if I think I can get something out of him, I'm going to use him. And that's why I say they can't be black and white. If they're telling me that there's no money to bring in a quality player, or let's say he goes there and kills it, and I'm a new manager, and they're telling me we're gonna sell him, but the quality we bring in next is not up to his level. I'm saying, well, I don't want to sell him then.
So you're saying you bring it back?
I'm saying if he kills it, I would consider it. Absolutely. You have to be. Yeah, you have to be. You have to, bro. As a new man, I'm saying if I'm a new manager, like you have to like look at this thing. There's someone that's gonna come in and say, like these new guys with let's say, for instance, let's not even go around the bush. Even with this Mason Greenwood thing, it's gonna be a discussion again. Like you or not, they're gonna say the other ones, they said that. That's not our, what do you call it? We didn't make the statement. We're deciding we're going to look at it. And we're going to look at it at the end of the season. But then everyone, the former owners were there and said, he'll never play for Man United again. Well, we didn't say that. And that's what it's going to be. So if that can be used in that situation, a new guy coming in is going to step in and say, okay, what is this? What's the state of play here? Let me look at how much money do I have to spend? Oh, I've got no money. What do I have right now? Oh, I've got Anthony. Okay, who else do I have? Oh, there's this guy in Germany that still plays for Man United that's been balling out of control, and I could use him on the right-hand side. bring him back. I don't think and I know from a black and white thing, he should never play for Man United again. I understand it. And he's let the club to ransom this, that, and the other. But as a new manager, you've got a short space of time to get results, or you're gonna lose. You know what I mean? If you don't get the results, let's say I have something that could be beneficial to me, I'm gonna use it. And honestly, that's just the truth of the matter. Like, and I know it sounds ugly, it's stinky, but I've seen Chelsea players down tools, and they've said they've down tools, and then start playing again for another manager and go on and have success. So, and then the fans were upset at them. They booed them at the beginning when they knew they were down in tools, and then after started cheering their names again, and everything was fine in Chelsea land. Well, that's just the way football goes. Now, everyone can say, some fans are fickle and stuff, but it's just unfortunately, that's just the way the cookie crumbles. It's sad, but that's just what it is.
I just think if I had replaced Ten Hag, if I was the new manager, I would say there's too much has happened here in terms of, I know it wasn't me that was here, but he, came up publicly against the last manager, and you have to, when you come straight through the door, you have to set a marker down. You have to put a marker down to the players just going, I know that wasn't to me, but that kind of behavior just won't be tolerated. That kind of attitude won't be tolerated. And, and not only that, you have to worry, I think, also about, again, the sort of, like you mentioned, the relationship with the fans. And look, he's got lots of friends, in the Old Trafford dressing room, but there might be people at the club too, players that are like, no, I didn't like the way that went down. And I also didn't like the way that, because again, this isn't something else to point out, that it wasn't just that Arsenal issue of like, oh yeah, we picked him on training and then blah blah blah, whatever happened afterwards. Clearly, there was a build up to it, wasn't there? There was a build up of Sancho's entire tenure at United where there was stuff going on regarding him. And whilst Erik ten Hag might be there, but this is the difficult thing, though, I suppose, like you say, is that everyone might be new at that point. Jim Ratcliffe's there, Brailsford's there, and they might go fresh start. But I just don't think there's that fresh about him. I think it's just best. I think it's just best for all parties if they just go in a different direction.
Not if he's doing well. Not if he's doing well. It changes everything. It does. Like, unfortunately, like that's just how it is. It's not nice to hear. Like, people listening to this take and probably saying, "Oh, this take stinks." I understand it. But it's just how we've seen football over the years. Now, don't get twisted. If we were blessed with finances and we could get like even better talent instead of him, in replacement of him, I'd be all up for it.
Well,
but
why couldn't we?
Well, let's look at the past. Let's look at what we've done so far,
and
then say like this. Well, I hope this. Well, the hope is that we could. But then at the moment, what we've shown in the market is not that. We haven't, like, we've been poor. Like, even like if you look on the parent eye test, yeah, Jadon would say, well, what we've seen Jadon do better than Facundo, better than Anthony, better than
But you say think of the finances as well. You say think of the finances. Isn't that part of the problem that United have found themselves in the first place? Is that we think finances first when it comes to stuff like this. When in reality, it could be a case of, and again, this is why they haven't put a buy option in the loan. It's because they've gone, if we put a buy option now for Dortmund, it wouldn't be that high. He hasn't played well for a couple of years, and he hasn't played since August. If he goes there, and like you said, does really well, reestablishes his value, and come the summer we get 50, 60 million for him, and they put that offer on the table with those new recruitment people in place, wouldn't you like to go, I tell you what, if they've got 50, 60 million plus money that we could have in the budget, they could go and get a proper right winger, not a Jadon Sancho where actually his best position's on the left-hand side, blah, blah, blah. They could get a proper right-hand side and we could actually solve that issue. Would you not rather that?
I would, I'd want at least minimum to break even for Sancho, I'd want the money back that I paid for him. I wouldn't want to take a loss. You brought in one of the youngest players. How old is that kid? 20-something years old, 21, 22?
22, 23, something like that.
It's young. Like, is it like, I want my money back, at least minimum, So then after, if that's not coming back to me and I'm taking a loss, it's not making sense. Personally, I just feel in this Sancho thing, Like if he goes there and flops and doesn't do what he needs to do, it's really basic. Then it is what it is. You know, like I just have to accept this is just he was never that guy. He never had the hunger. He never had the drive about him. You can sometimes say, you know what, that environment just wasn't for you. You know, you and that manager just didn't mesh. Now, he's
But
25.
it's not just Ten Hag as well. We can't dress that up too. It was Solskjaer, it was Ranić. So the environment at United in general hasn't worked out for him. And there's an argument to be made too that the one manager to get the best out of him is the current manager at Dortmund. He was the interim caretaker manager at the time, and now he's back. He's the permanent manager. That environment is going to be the best environment. Is he ever going to have that environment at United that he had at Dortmund, where it's everything's around him? You know, we're going to nurture you, all that kind of stuff. Is that ever going to happen for him? If not, then United need to find a player that they can get, they can get more out of. This is the thing with Sancho too, is we talk about what he could be and what he can be, but he's never been that for us, even before these issues came up publicly. And that's also when you get into the territory of going, it's the sins of the past argument, isn't it? He's just another name that we go, we spent a lot of money. I don't know if we're going to get a lot back on that. He's young, so we'll probably get a bit back, but it's about finding the person that can thrive in that environment. And I don't think Jadon Sancho can. And if I was the next manager, I'd just be like, clean break. Let's add it to the summer war kitty, the KG war kitty in the summer.
We're broke, man.
The poll in the chat, it's interesting because poll's been up for just 6 minutes. We've already had over 200 votes in it. And the question is the same question I asked KG. If you replace Ten Hag, would you keep Sancho? And only 28% of people have said yes. 72% have said no, they wouldn't.
Guess what? You see when them comps start hitting?
I'm done with comps, KG. I'm so over comps on social media.
You're done with comps, yeah?
Honestly.
Let's ask that same. So remember, file this in your brain because you got the receipts. Let's ask that same question, yeah? After let's say later on in the season when he started playing games. Because I'm telling you, it's gonna get interesting. I know right now it's popular to say to have this feeling and this thought, but watch as time goes on, because we've seen it over and over again. They've done it with Alanga. We did it with Pogba. We've done it with so many players. This guy's gonna be no different. Promise. That one I can guarantee. I'm just not afraid. I'm just not afraid to say it now. I'm just not afraid to say, hey guys, your feelings will change. Your feelings might change as the season carries on. We'll see what happens. We'll see how people talk. And they say, it's only you that feels that way. Okay, cool.
My thing is if he does well, I'm happy because I think we'll get more money for him. It won't waver what I think United should do, to be honest with you. And like I said, comps, I'm done with. They posted a clip, or Frankfurt posted a clip of Van der Beek in training the other day doing some flicks, and everyone said bring him back. And I was sort of going, we've got to get out of this comps thing because it's crazy.
And he's done one little flick. You did nothing in that. You saw it, and all the fans had made up their minds. And then you know what? Let's trust me. Even the polls here, I look at polls and I think, you pricks. Because you know what comes to my mind when I see these polls? I saw the highest amount of Man United fans voted for Ten Hag to be the manager when was looking for one. Literally, I never forget that. It was over 90% of the Man United fan base that wanted him. And then now, a huge majority are calling him a fraud. Where did that 90% go? Where did the 90% of the people that said, yeah, it's a 3-year job, it's going to take him time, I'm going to give him time to what do you call it? That didn't last. So we'll see. As time goes on, we will see. But I promise you, on this one, I know I'm going to be proved right. Absolutely. I'm actually now looking forward to that shit.
A couple of super chats and we'll wrap things up. KG, by the way, is going to be live in just a matter of minutes on his channel.
I haven't even.
I was going to say, for the last 10 minutes, I've been trying to redirect.
So into the show. I was so into the show. Hold on, let me
I'll read out these super chats anyway. It's fine. I'll read out these super chats. Show says United in the last 10 years is Marvel post Endgame. Well, I actually last night watched Echo on Disney Plus.
Isn't he good?
You know what? It was interesting because I enjoyed it. I enjoyed parts of it, certainly. And but then I went online and I saw people said they didn't like it. There are faults with it, but some bits of it are very, very good. Some parts of it are enjoyable. I give it a watch. It's fun. Rice and Peas. Rice and Peas says, how many likes to see the toe? KG, is that on the table at all? You know, I'm
not starting at OnlyFans. They're not looking at my feet online. That's ridiculous.
So
that's what they do. They sell feet. You're telling me I should start OnlyFans?
No. You're categorically denying at this point the toe thing.
Absolutely,
it's not true.
And then absolutely, but again, unless they're telling me they're telling me they want me to start an OnlyFans so they can see my feet. That's all I'm hearing, and I'm uncomfortable with that. Sounds like harassment.
I don't think they're saying necessarily they want an OnlyFans. I think they're just they're just looking for you to sort of dispel some rumors.
No, sounds like harassment. You know? I think they're building it in something else, which it isn't, and I think there's some nefarious, dark, evil plan for me to start an OnlyFans. That's what I'm getting from it.
Okay. No, that's fine. That's fine. I just wanted to double check and just make sure. That's kind. Team Nathan's been a member for 18 months. Says, guys, I have to admit it. CR7 was right. Everything he said in that interview was spot on. I'm not vexed with Jadon because it's a mess here. Go flourish, Jadon. Wow. And finally, Shalil Patel says, I'm 100% with the manager on the Sancho situation because he has a history of timekeeping and mentality issues with all of his previous clubs. Waste of money. KG, what are you giggling about?
Someone send another stream of income, KG.
If there's an audience. Some people are saying calling it only Brockfoots.
It's too early for this, man.
just once and for all, you're categorically ruling out the toe thing.
Categorically, man.
Categorically. Oh, there you go. Anyway, guys, be sure to smash a like on the like button. Be sure to subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. What's on tap for the remainder of the day? I'm going to be live about 2 o'clock for the press conference reaction. Eric Tenag's going to talk to the media at Carrington. So I'm going to be just discussing all the questions, all of the answers, all of the quotes, all that fun stuff. And then later on this evening, as mentioned, 6 p.m., you're going to see the fan clash between KG and Expressions, talking a variety of Manchester United and Spurs topics. A reminder, tomorrow at 9 a.m., you're going to have the match preview with Flex and Abby. Sunday, of course, it's match day. There's going to be the match view. KG's going to be there, hopefully, for a victory inside UVHQ. But don't go anywhere, of course, because once the stream ends, you'll be redirected straight to KG the Comedian's channel.
Thank you so much.
Straight to KG's channel for his reckless breakfast, his reckless thoughts. You can even call in. Exactly. You can even call in. We're gonna do this. You can call in. You can have your say as well. Yep. And maybe, just maybe, you know, I just hope every. Yep. I hope every call talks about your feet. That's all I'm going to say. We're gonna do this. Right about.
I'm in the annoying mode, you know. We're gonna do this.